right, we will say good day to you all. We will, first of all, once again, welcome all of you, each and every one of you individually, all of you together, collectively, into this particular gathering in the area on your planet known as the Sedona vortex. Our ship, as many of you may know, is now, at this particular moment, approximately 1,936 miles above your position. We are regulating, helping to balance the energies of the Sedona vortex, since it is the major vortex in your area that connects to many other vortices. And by regulating the energy of the Sedona vortex, we can also help regulate the flow of energies, the balance of energies, the frequencies of energies in many of the surrounding vortices as well. So in this interaction, you will be immersed in this bubble vibration, in this bubble reality that is representative of a vortex that is connected to many others around your planet, thus then enabling you through the course of these interactions, this day of your time, to allow your neurological system, your brain, your body, through the information you will be absorbing, you will allow these systems, these neurological systems, to rewire themselves in specific ways to become more sensitive as antennae for the particular frequencies that are representative of change and transformation, and experiencing these changes and transformations that are now paramount in your lives, paramount in your world, experiencing them in a smooth, more effortless way, more joyful way. So we invite you to relax, allow yourselves the opportunity to simply let this information in, let these vibrations in, let the frequency in. Take a deep breath and allow yourselves to go along, knowing that whatever it is that truly needs to sink into you will be the vibration that will come in. No more and no less than that. Whatever you are not ready for, you will not absorb until you are, until your life unfolds in a manner to allow your vibration to match the frequencies that we are delivering in this transmission. Because these transmissions, in many ways, are what you call holographic. And thus then there is far more information being delivered in a variety of levels than your ears may be hearing. Many more frequencies of information than you may be perceiving right now. But in time, as you change, as your frequency changes, as you become an antenna more sensitive to other kinds of dimensional levels of information, you will thus then allow these things to sink in, to rewire you in ways that you are ready to apply in your physical reality. For all the information will be there, even though it may not necessarily be absorbed to the deepest levels of your being, even though it may not necessarily rewire your brain and your neurology specifically in the way certain bits of this information will, all of it will be present for you. All of it will be accessible. All of it will be available. But you will, in a time-released fashion, download whatever portions of this information being delivered to you today that you need in your own timing, whatever works for you. So just relax. You will miss nothing. All information is always accessible all the time. As we have said, what you typically refer to in your reality as the Akashic records is not really some mysterious distant place where everything is recorded as if on some sort of tape. It is simply the understanding and the idea that all things are here and now, and therefore all information is always accessible to you depending upon your frequency, because that frequency will determine what information you are capable of accessing and realizing and perceiving. Now, in conjunction with the idea that we are transmitting this information to you this day of your time in the Sedona vortex, this very powerful interdimensional gate, we will be once again allowing a being known as Willa Hillicrissing to address certain ideas. We will help facilitate the transmission of her consciousness from her reality through the channel to your reality, acting as a go-between, acting as a mediator, acting as a facilitator, acting as a co-translation moderator for her thought patterns, because we have worked with her to help train her to deliver this information through to you at this time. So we will, thus, in introducing once again her to you, allow her to communicate certain concepts that are necessary now for many of you to begin to absorb with respect to a deeper understanding of parallel realities, how it is you use parallel realities in your daily lives, because you all do all the time. And thus then, a bit at a time, a piece at a time, her information, being that she is, in her time frame, 700 years in what you call your future on Earth, she is a parallel reality specialist. Thus then, highly qualified to deliver to you more precisely this information. And in doing this, through her, it will also help form, in a sense, a compass needle, an arrow, a pointer, a guide, a bridge, a link, a connecting vibration to what you call your future, the future of your society on Earth, because she is a part of that society, as we said, in terms of the way you look at time, 700 years in your future. So she is part of the society that exists on your planet at that time. For it is very different from what you experience on your planet now. Thus then, along with a couple of diagrams that she will explain to you, we will now allow for the adjustment to occur to bring through this being from your future, who you may simply know as Willa. One moment. All right, then. At this time, I will say good day to you, my cookies. You're all in this way present for this form of transmission. For I will say that in this way, we have learned to bridge through the Bashar other parallel realities. And this enhances and increases our understanding of the ways in which the structure exists for all of us, and the ways in which we are connected through this structure of existence. So we will begin now to share with you many of the things, a bit at a time, in what we have learned we'll call bite-sized nuggets, bite-sized cookies. To absorb this information, we will give it to you, little bits at a time, so you have the time to digest this information in a way that works for you. Otherwise, of course, it would be pointless, would it not? So, we will begin a little bit with a little bit of our background, introducing ourselves, as it were, so you have some degree of familiarity with us, and so that we may develop this relationship over what you call time. For we will be speaking with you many times through the course and transitions taking place on your planet, and we understand that the time frame, what we call downline from us, for we are what you would call upline from you, what you call your future, what we call you in the past, downline. We understand the time frame in your reckoning, in your kenning, would be your year of 2013, which is about, again from your linear perspective, 700 years ago to me. But clearly we all exist at the same time, or we would not be having this conversation now, would we? So, gear yourselves in this way for the following information that I will ken to you. As the Bashar has already informed you, my name is Willa Hillikrissing, and as we have previously and briefly explained, we are a type of hybrid being, and in what you call your future, when many different types of hybrid beings will exist in the society of Earth, there will be those that will take upon themselves names that are connected to nature. First names, middle names, last names that will be connected to natural things. This then will be the idea of the origin of my name, for in your time you would have used the terms willow, like the tree, and hillicrism, like the herb. But in my time, there has been the continuation of the sociological evolution of words and language and name. So, in my time, willow, hillicrism has evolved into that which I now label myself as Willa Hillikrissing. Though many will still retain the idea of something you would recognize as words in your own lexicon. For example, I will refer now and then to my mentor, who we have termed the name of Holly Cotton, and you can see again the utilization, as you say, of the ideas of nature in the tree and the plant of holly and cotton. This will be a very common way that these beings amongst our society will have named themselves now for generations. So, the idea is that about downline 50 of your years, Holly thus then created a work that we have called Shards of the Shattered Mirror. And this has formed the basis for the ideas and understandings of all that I now study in terms of the idea of parallel reality specialization. Before we thus then present to you how we work with these ideas of parallel realities in one particular way, again, a little bit more understanding of my being. Though I have referred to myself as a hybrid, I am not what you typically, even in your reality, think of as the typical hybrid being from those encounters that have occurred in your society between Earth human and gray being. I am something far different than that. So allow me first to share with you my particular nature, so you'll have a little bit better understanding of who I am and why I am doing what I am doing and why I am speaking to you this day this way. First and foremost, in terms of my look, you would say I am, of course, female. And in this way, I would look a little bit like what you in your lexicon would recognize as elfish. Though I am similar to your heights, the idea is that my eyes are golden yellow, and my hair in that sense falls to my shoulders but does not fall straight. For it is in that sense rougher, like the fur of the fox, and lightly colored, cinnamon and rusts. You'll find that I am, in that sense, of slightly pointed ear, and slender of build. And in this way, as most people know me, I am most mischievous in my attitude and carriage. For the idea of my joy is expressed through my work in a variety of ways. But I am a mixture of many things, not just the idea of your off-earth human and human, for I am also containing serious energies. I am also genetically disposed to a few other beings and civilizations. I am a mixture in a variety of ways, but I am also relatively unique in the society. For there are only 33 of my kind. I am in your lexicon what you might call a shapeshifter. In our own lexicon, upline from you, we are in our own lexicon called cryptics. The idea is that while it has been explained to you by the Bashar that time is a side effect from your consciousness shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality billions of times per second, and while obviously my reality involves the experience of time in a similar way, there are things I can also do with time, things I can experience with parallel realities that are different than you. For as a shapeshifter, not only can I experience the idea of shifting through parallel realities in the way that you do to create the sensation and experience you call time, but I can also shift parallel realities through myself. And in so doing, you would experience the idea of my shape shifting in your reality. You would see a variety of parallel reality versions of me shifting before your eyes to whatever form and fashion I so desire. So as a cryptic, as a shapeshifter, I am one of 33. And in that way, this is what forms the title of this transmission, the 33rd parallel, for it is me and my team of cryptics that deal as parallel reality specialists on the earth, and there are only 33 of us. And we form the 33rd parallel team that aids and assists in the understanding and exploration of these ideas for you, and shares with many other factions across many other parallel realities the information that we have discovered. For we do not exist in any one particular parallel stream, but in many, simultaneously, for such is the nature of being a cryptic. It is not confusing to us because we were born this way. It is our nature, and in this way can demonstrate to many, many beings in our own reality reflections and aspects of many other kinds of parallel reality streams by seeing the reflections change in the mirrors that we are as cryptics, as shapeshifters. And so, let us begin to impart some of our discoveries to you this way. We will now describe, and we have been told by the Bashar that you will be able with your technology to see these diagrams in your own way, in your own recordings. We will describe to you now what we will call in our lexicon PIN charts, P-I-N, which stands for Parallel Incarnation Chart. This is one of the devices that we use to understand, to express, to record the idea of our perception of different parallel incarnations. For again, even though you may think of the idea of past and future lives, as the Bashar has explained, they are all simultaneously coexistent, all exist at once. And again, were it not so, we could not be having this lovely conversation now today, could we? For I exist simultaneously with you, even though you perceive me being 700 years in your future. So these charts, these pin charts, which go by the more formal title of oversoul vector diagrams, but we find that to be a bit too stuffy. So we use the term pin chart, parallel incarnation chart, in our present day lexicon, in our sideline reality. You will see thus then, if you are now looking at this chart, that it is formed of a grid that represents a variety of different calibrations. These calibrations, the primary ones, the basic ones, being the idea that at the center of this chart, in the square in the center, you will see that this contains a representation, reflects a representation of the being that we are doing the chart for, the present day being, whoever that may be. And there is an indication in the center of three different varieties. In that sense, three different states of that being that we will get into in a moment. But you can also see that there are different levels, different delineations in this chart, expanding outward from the center. And you'll find that if you look at the chart on the left, up and down, will be the idea of what you call the present, which we term, we ken to be the sideline. That is the lifespan of the being in what you call present terms, the present incarnation that you experience here. And you can see that it goes up line from there and down line from there into what you would label the future and the past. And in this way we chart the idea in the timeline, even though all is simultaneous. And you can see from left to right, there being in the center the idea of the being, if it expresses itself as other than male or female. But to the left would be male incarnations, and to the right would be female incarnations, both upline and downline in the future and the past. The inner portion of this grid, the one closest to the center square, will be those incarnations that are most closely connected through genetics and family lines. The idea of the next level, the next ring, the next square ring, will be those that you would consider to be unrelated incarnations genetically. And the one in the outer level will be those that are in other civilizations altogether, other realities altogether, you would call extraterrestrial. Thus you can also see that division along the bottom of the chart into extraterrestrial on both sides and Earth human in the middle. But even the Earth human in our time is not necessarily what you understand humanity to be in yours. For again, we are now mostly of a hybrid species, and a variety of things exist upon the planet. So that idea of saying Earth being is more accurate than saying Earth human. And of course, these charts can be adjusted for any civilization and any individual beings, simultaneously concurrent parallel incarnations. There are many different kinds of adjustments that can be made in these charts, but we will begin very simply so as not to cause confusion in this way, because it takes a great deal of mastery and education to learn the idea of exactly how to use these charts and chart the idea of all these different incarnations as may relate to any particular individual. For there are a number, a variety and a myriad of different incarnations that can be had. If you will thus then now, please display chart number 2. You will see the differences that have been made in this chart are representative of a few different things. You will see that in the central square, the left side has been blackened in. and labeled with the letter A. This will represent the present person. In this case, it's a male because it's on the left. If it had been colored in on the right, it would be a female in present incarnation. If it had been colored in that small center square, you would know it is neither male nor female, but other. So we begin there. And you can see immediately to one side a small blue line. Each of the small squares, the tiny grid that is overlaid upon this chart, has been adjusted in this particular example to represent 10-year increments. It can be any increment at all. And it can vary from time to time, all the way even down to minutes and seconds, days, weeks, months, years, centuries. It can be adjusted in any way, shape, or form you so desire, depending upon the chart you are creating. But for now, in this example, we will begin with the idea of each of those squares being a decade, 10 years of your counting. And thus you can see that what it tells you by the blue line that exists on the side where the male is indicated is that, for simplicity's sake, it covers 4 squares. And thus you can say that in the present incarnation, this individual is age 40 years. So that tells you immediately you are dealing with a male individual, a male incarnation, 40 years of age in its present incarnation, in the reality in which it exists on earth. Now you can see, however, that farther away, above and to the left, a longer black line. Because this black line starts 2 squares above the present incarnation line, the side line, which represents the lifespan in present incarnation, because it starts 2 squares above, that basically is an indication that that particular incarnation was born 20 years after the present lifespan of this person, and extends for 100 years into the future, upline as we say. So that incarnation is male because it's on the left side, and extends for 100-year lifespan. While lower on the right you can see an example of what you would call a past life, downline we say, because it's all simultaneous, of a female that was born 130 of your years before the present lifespan of this male, but died 60 years before the present lifespan of this male was born. Thus then, this female lived a life of 70 years and is in relation to the present life in what you call the past on the female side. Now, if any of these lines had crossed into the sideline area represented by that band across the center from left to right, which represents the lifespan, the current lifespan of the present individual that we are doing the chart for, then that would mean that that life was actually being lived concurrently with the present life, would be what is called, partly at least, a counterpart. Because a soul can have incarnations in the same time frame, more than one. And that is how it would be represented on this chart, as overlapping the present lifespan band, the sideline band, to be understood to be incarnated concurrently, at least to some degree. And if this being had been, again, other than an earth being, then these lines would have extended out, would have been placed out in the outer rings. But what this shows you here is a variety of things and relationships that exist between these incarnations. And it can get much more complex than this. Again, we are only showing you a very simple slice of this idea, of this technique. And many of our charts may even show dozens, some even hundreds of these lifelines, what we call pinpoints, for it is a pin chart. So any particular life we call a pinpoint. but they stretch into these lines representing timelines. What we say upline, downline, what you call future and past, what you call the lifespan. Many of these charts can be filled with these lines. Many of them can overlap in a variety of ways. And this tells us a lot about exactly what the oversoul is doing of this particular group of beings and how it is expressing itself along these different timelines. And it allows us to understand the relationship between all these different incarnations. And it tells us a lot about the energy of that oversoul that all these lives are connected to. So we use these kinds of charts to determine these things as we perceive these incarnations. And it again can become much more layered even than this that you're seeing here, which is only representative of a slice. For you can stack these pin charts on top of one another, and this can represent the idea of even different parallel time streams altogether. In other words, alternate realities, alternate versions of this individual, alternate realities, alternate earths, different experiences, different incarnations, even on alternate earths. And so these pin charts can become three-dimensional, fourth-dimensional, fifth-dimensional. They can become, in that sense, very multi-layered. Now then, we do not use, in our upline time frame, of course, paper and pen, or even flat electronic pads as you do to represent these things. No. We have in our time frame what we call nanoglass, nanocubes. For it is, if you imagine a cube of clear glass, or what would appear to you to be clear glass, a cube. And they can be of varying sizes, but most commonly they will be about a foot or two on each side. And in these nanoglass cubes, they are the equivalent of what you would recognize in your time frame as a computer. And in these transparent cubes do appear these pin charts in all their full 3-, 4th-, and 5th-dimensional glory, for us to be able to view from all sides and all angles and understand the relationships between the simultaneous incarnations that may occur in any one particular alternate timeline, any one particular alternate reality version, and also all of them together, and thus then give us a complete understanding of all the different simultaneous incarnations that the oversoul may be extending from itself. And this is why these were originally called in the old lexicon oversoul vector diagrams, which we have now streamlined in our time frame into pin charts. So you can begin to understand from this simple explanation how we, in the 33rd parallel, the team of 33, how all the cryptics can begin to view all these different parallel incarnations. And this is another ability that we have. For it is that many people, many beings will come to us because we have the ability to perceive in all these different parallel reality dimensions and alternate realities. We have the ability to trace, track, and perceive these alternate incarnations of any individual. And thus then it is uniquely our talent to form these pin charts for different individuals who come seeking this information from us. This is what we do. This is our calling. This is our nature. This is our ability. This is who we are. In time, you may be introduced to a few others of my team in the 33rd parallel. But for now, I will be the one that will come through more often than not, although I have been told that my mentor, Holly Cotton, may from time to time also put a word in or two. In my time frame, in what I refer to as my own personal sideline, Holly, in your terms of counting, is about 150 of your years old. I came into this and found her in that way many, many years ago, though I am, in your terms of counting, still relatively young. But you'll find, synchronistically enough, that I am 33. And this timing is one of the reasons why the synchronicity has now occurred in your year of 2013, in your downline time frame, that you ken it to be the year of transformation, why these connections can now occur, why your minds and your neurology have been prepared sufficiently to receive these kinds of informations, these kinds of downloads from us and others. For there are no accidents in timing, it is all an orchestration. And a beautiful song and symphony it is to our ears and our senses that we get to play with you in this way, at this timing, my cookies. For you're all little bits of information, little sweet bites in a variety of ways. And so, cookies you are. There will be many other kinds of ideas that we will share with you along these lines of learning how to apply the concept of beginning to perceive and recognize that you are shifting through parallel realities all the time to create the side effect you call time. And we will be sharing many more ways you can apply this information in your life. For now, we will let you absorb what has been given, and we will turn the transmission back to the Bashar. But we are very, very happy to have met you all, and to be introduced in this way, and to share with our kith and kin in this way with you downline. And we thank you for expanding our reality and our perceptions, and allowing us our nature, and to interact with your nature in this way. For we are, in that sense, truly family, being of the same world, and being extensions of each other in many ways through the oversoul vectors that we have now just discussed with you. And remember that I am, in my physiology of two hearts, for this is also one of my, what you would call in your lexicon, nicknames. Many people in my world not only call me a cryptic, but they call me Willa Two Hearts. So my both hearts are beating now with love for you all. So double love to you all. And we thank you, and turn back the transmission to the Bashar. Blessings and sharings to you all. There will be many more transmissions from Willa and her kin in the 33rd parallel, and there will be more discussions of this idea of parallel realities and how to apply these ideas practically, effectively, in your understanding of reality, in your incarnation, your pinpoint. And this can be the subject of the continuation of many of the questions and answers that will happen in this transmission this day of your time, in the live interactions that we will undertake with you after this particular recorded session. But we wanted to lay the foundation and allow Willa herself to lay out these lines for you, because not only is it about the information she has delivered to you in this way through the channel vocally, it is not only about the information she has delivered in this way through the diagrams and charts that you have been shown and handed physically this day of your time, so that you will have your own copy of this chart to take with you, to look at, to absorb, to study. But it is also about her particular vibrational energy, her particular frequency that you are also absorbing, because it will, in that sense, draw you like a magnet to your compass needle into that particular frequency that represents the reality stream, the parallel reality stream of her existence, like a marker, like a guidepost, like a lighthouse, like a beacon, specifically along that corridor of parallel realities toward that particular future, or as Willa would say, upline existence. And thus then it gives you a homing beacon to stay within that frequency that Willa has imparted to all of you, in conjunction with the frequencies that we have imparted to all of you blending together in a hybridized way, and in itself becoming more capable of allowing you to become more receptive to the vibrations of her cryptic nature, her shape-shifting nature, so that even though you may not shift in the way that Willa does, you can allow for more superconductivity and hyperconductivity of energy flow in all directions within you to allow you to shift through your parallel reality streams of choice in your theme of exploration in ways that are far more effortless, smoother, so that you blend and harmonize and accelerate and experience more and more of your total selves. One moment. Later in your terms of time, there will be a meditation given in conjunction with the holotope that will specifically be designed as a vortex meditation to aid and assist you in amplifying, magnifying, and aligning and harmonizing with the vibrations of the vortex you are now immersed in, the bubble reality you are now experiencing with this transmission. And at that time, I will also aid and assist in directing your consciousness to some of the other vortices nearby that the Sedona vortex is linked with and connected to, for purposes of allowing you to begin to experience some of the alternate shifting patterns that are possible within this bubble reality and magnifications that can occur within your consciousness and perceptions that can come to you along these lines. But that will be then. In a different now than this now. In this now, we will simply allow you to absorb what has been given, knowing that you are being, by your very own choice, at your very own pace, in your very own way and your very own style, rewiring yourselves to allow these energies to flow along those neurological pathways more easily, more effortlessly, more harmoniously, with more blending, more holistically, less segregation, more integration, more love, more joy. So breathe all of it in, and with every exhalation know that you are shifting, shifting, shifting into the vibrations of the 33rd parallel to whatever extent Willa and her team will help guide you, to whatever degree is appropriate for you to absorb that energy information and make it your own for your own applications and purposes in the theme of exploration that you chose as this particular pinpoint incarnation, here and now, as a vector of your oversoul, in concert and orchestration with all the other vectors simultaneously, here and now. You may now take a short break, after which we will create a transmission between us to allow for the exchange of further information, questions and answers along these lines of the 33rd parallel. We thank you. Take your break. Let us continue the transmission in the following way. Well, first of all, since you are all banding about cell phone humor, you may often turn your phones to vibrate. We turn ours to high vibration. Let us continue with interactions of questions and answers.
So those of you that had your names called earlier, would you like to come and take the hot seat?
Not too hot.
You're not going to turn the heat up on us?
Oh, I may.
Good afternoon, Bashar.
And you good day.
So I'd like to ask a few questions about the cryptics
Yes.
that we heard about earlier today.
All right.
And the first one is, we heard Willa tell us there's 33 of them.
Yes.
Are they all female or is it a mix?
No. It is a mix.
Okay.
And a few of them are neither male or female.
And do they all look similar to how she described herself looking?
No. It will also depend on many things. Depend upon the mix of genetics. It will also depend upon exactly which form they may vibrationally gravitate to in terms of how they present themselves in physical reality. Because as she described, it is similar to the idea of not only shifting through parallel realities to create the experience of physical space-time, but they have the ability, or the effect would appear as if they can also shift parallel realities through themselves, changing their form, changing their shape, and thus then many of them may actually choose to have shapes that look nothing like you as their, shall we say in your terms, default position.
Okay, great. So could you describe at least one more of the 33 cryptics, one of their default shapes, since hers was so interesting?
The default shape of her mentor, Holly Cotton, is with long white hair, very straight, down the back. The skin, in that sense, you would say, again, maybe shifting gently over time from light to dark to medium to light to back to dark to medium, shifting over time in a variety of ways with subtle other colors mixed in the sheen of the skin. The eyes mostly are always for her what you would call very, very, very light crystal blue, though from time to time they can alter for a variety of reasons. She is relatively slender. She is, in that sense, as you would recognize it, more similar to our kind in the sense of being a hybrid being, although, when she wishes to, she can appear as a white crow, a white raven. Will that do?
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
So they're not able to just shift to anything they want, like she couldn't be a bear and a fish?
Well, again, they can,
Okay.
but it will depend upon the relevance. Now, understand that when they shift into those shapes, they are not actually the same thing as being a bear. It is simply the idea that they can manipulate that energy in such a way, that appearance in such a way, as to appear that way. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
This, in some sense, was learned and is not identical to, but similar to, one of the things that has been reported in many encounters on your planet where certain beings make you think that you are seeing something other than what they are, and what you call screen memories. So it is a similar talent, a similar skill, but not created in the same way. But it is, in some way, shape, or form, vibrationally connected to that ability.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
So taking Willa, where does she...
Taking her where?
Just like thinking about Willa,
Guys,
back to Willa, does she have a certain place on the planet that she
Yes.
is usually based in?
Ireland.
In Ireland, okay.
Yes.
Are there any of the 33 that are from this area?
Yes.
What is that being like?
Rusty.
Awesome.
Often takes on the actual coloration of the red rocks, and you cannot see that the being is there. Therefore, the nickname is Rusty. Similar to the idea that many of them not only have their own names, but also have what you call in your language nicknames. Willa's nickname, because of her physiology, is two hearts. She actually has a double-chambered heart. So when she loves you, she really loves you.
Sounds great.
One moment.
Oh, sorry.
One moment. The individual in your general location, in that time frame, the one we have referred to as Rusty, is actually named Sage Primrose. You understand?
Yeah.
All right. You will find that many, as we have said, of the hybrids, when they appear on your planet, will take nature names for first and last names, quite often vegetation names. This is why we have said that even though Willa Hillikrissing is her name now, as these names have evolved in their language, if she had been born in an earlier time, it would have been Willow Hillichrism. But it has evolved into Willa Hillikrissing. Although holly cotton is holly cotton, sage primrose is sage primrose. No change has happened in those particular dialects. Does this help you?
Yeah.
All right.
And there's 33 on the planet in 700 years in Willa's now, right? That's what
Yes.
she told us. So,
In what she would call her sideline, your upline.
yeah. So I was wondering how they were created. Did they come out of the hybrid, blending of hybrid race with humans, or were they just...
They are a mix of several different kinds of things, the base of which, the foundation of which, are the hybrid children that will ultimately appear on your planet, but there are several other things that have been genetically added. We are not allowed to discuss what that is. Not yet. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have one last question. So my friend Bridget has a wonderful little hybrid son named Neo.
For now.
Yeah, for now. And I feel a really strong connection to that guy. So I was wondering, have I given some genetic information to him at all?
Not so much literal physical, but vibrational energetic genetic information, patterns and templates, yes.
So how does that affect him?
It allows certain alterations to be made in the physical genetic material by taking cues from the energetic template patterns that you have provided in your energy field. Many people do this and provide energetic template patterns to the hybrid children program as well, rather than literal genetic material physically.
Okay. And what qualities came from me
That,
to him?
you said, was the last question.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
Yay! I'm excited.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
So I would like to explore Willa's pin chart a bit more.
All right.
In seeing it, to me, it kind of. Well, I mean, I'd like you to explain more about it. But when I look at it,
There is no more to explain right now.
Okay.
And generally speaking, when there is more to give, she will give it.
Okay.
But what do you want clarification on at this moment?
It feels like I perceive a lot of different parallel incarnations
Yes.
from all different areas, extraterrestrial and stuff.
Then you can make your own pin chart, can't you?
Right. Is there anything more to it than that at this
Of
time?
course there is, but you can start with what you have been given.
Perfect.
Since what you have been given at the beginning of things is always a good place to start.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Thank you.
So I've been experiencing a lot of parallel reality
Yes.
shifting by going to these different areas on Earth. I mean, the call to adventure has led me to Maui, to England, then to Shasta, then to Los Angeles, and it's like boom, 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 shifting as
Yes.
my physicality, or who I am is also determined by my physical
all right.
location.
Well, thank you for following your shifts.
Thanks. So it's been really fun experiencing
Yes.
those.
One would assume so.
Right. When I'm in these different vortexes or chakra points, vortices or chakra points, it feels like I have greater access to the other ones. Like I feel when I'm in Shasta, I can feel Maui. And when
Yes,
I'm
in a
here,
sense, they are linked along certain energetic lines. You all know this already.
Right. So that's interesting.
Yes, it is. We have recently, and it has been presented to you in this way,
Yeah.
talked about the idea and presented to you the idea that the Sedona vortex is strongly connected to the upheaval dome in Utah, yes?
Where's that?
Utah.
No,
It is in southern Utah at the northern end of what you call Canyonlands.
Thank you. I'm from Utah, so
It is a unique impact crater on your planet. There is no other like it. Explore Upheaval Dome and you will see what we mean.
thank you for that.
Yes.
I have a question about England and it being a part of the New World Network that I'm co-creating.
Yes.
And would Glastonbury be the general location for that?
I don't
location?
know, would it?
It feels so.
Well, then I guess it is.
Perfect. Thanks.
It's up to you to decide that, is it not? Using your own vibrational compass?
It is, and that's what feels right.
Then why are you asking us?
I just was confirming that with you.
How does what I have to say confirm anything? If you have decided that that is what is true for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
So when I was at the cetacean workshop, the gatekeeper that came to me
Yes.
was kind of a elven-looking guy with wings, and it came up at lunch break that
Yes.
it might have something to do with the 33, or
Not directly, except indirectly, in that one of the symptoms, as we have said, of accelerating your vibration and being more capable of peering into parallel realities and other dimensions is that you may also begin to see what is all around you all the time, that you have called nature beings, nature spirits, but now they become a little bit more visible to you. Yes?
Yes. And then I don't know if she'll be called later, so I'm going to ask for right before Willa came through on December 22nd. I channeled through Laura Geiger's hybrid daughter, who was named Willow, and we're wondering about the connection between Willow, the freelancer to come, and Willa.
Well, you can keep on wondering. Wondering about Willa.
Yes. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, my friend.
And you good day.
I feel like this is an appointment that I made,
Yes, of course. Otherwise it wouldn't be happening.
and I have a couple questions.
Yes.
The first one is, do you have any messages for me?
Nope.
Okay. The second one,
Unless I'm lying. But we won't know that for a while until this conversation unfolds a little bit further.
okay. So the second question I have is my people that talk to me.
Yes.
I can't hear them.
But you can feel them.
I can feel them.
Is that not enough?
Yes, that's fine. All of it's great. I love all of it. My question that I have to ask you is,
Yes.
they're constantly talking to me,
Yes.
and I can't always hear them.
You
And
said that already.
And it's not that I don't want to hear everything that, I do want to hear everything that they're saying.
No, you don't. Trust me. No, you don't.
Okay, okay,
And I don't mean that in a negative context.
okay.
The idea is you hear what you need to hear. What you don't need to hear, you will not hear.
I understand.
Because extraneous information that's not relevant for the moment you are at in your life is simply not perceived or not provided.
Why are they talking to me then? Why do they continue?
Information is always being radiated and beamed and sent. You, as antennas, pick up on what you need. You can sense that the transmission is always ongoing, but you don't always have to be paying attention. And if you stop needing to know everything that's being said, then it will take its place and balance itself out, and you will simply know what you need to know when you need to know it. You will hear what you need to hear when you need to hear it, and the rest of it will go away.
I understand that.
All right.
I just thought that maybe something might be wrong with my hearing and maybe
What?
or my knowing that I didn't get.
I didn't hear that.
Okay. I totally understand exactly what you had just said to me because I'm not,
Yes.
I get it.
All right. Then there's nothing wrong, is there?
Good. Thank you.
Do you trust your life?
Yes, I do.
Well, then there's nothing wrong.
Yes.
Do you hear that?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi,
And to you, good day.
thank you.
Speak up and be bold.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, I wanted to.
Yes.
I have this word that keeps on coming.
What word is that?
Kundalini.
Yes. What about it?
Well,
You understand what that is, yes?
I believe so.
Oh, all right. Do you know so?
I think so.
I think so. I believe so. All right.
I mean, I.
Well,
I
what
be-
about it? What about it?
I
The
believe
word
it's,
keeps coming. Do you do anything about it?
yes, actually.
All right. And so then, what do you need to discuss about this? Is it working for you as a tool? As a permission slip?
Yes.
All right. Then what needs to be discussed?
I guess it's power for human consciousness.
Power.
Yes.
Yes. And what does that mean to you?
Well, you know, when we listen to someone like you or other teachings,
Yes.
we really open ourselves and we're like, oh my God, yes, yes, I want that. You know, I want that.
All right. So the question is, why don't you do that all the time?
Exactly.
Thank you. Do you have a good answer for that?
Well, Kundalini has been one of the gateway.
All right. And so.
And I wanted to know, as you in
Yes.
your dimension,
Yes.
what is, how do you perceive Kundalini in the human form?
Very well, thank you. We perceive it as high vibratory energy linking and balancing all the energy points of our system
Wonderful.
and connecting us directly to the vibrational alignment with Source.
Wonderful.
How do you experience it in your dimension?
Here you go. Well, in my personal experience,
Yes.
I have been under control over my Kundalini.
Control?
Yes. We talk about mind control, and I do believe I allowed it to be this way in my life so I could sense and feel my power as a creator, as a
All
co-creator.
right. All right.
Okay.
And
And the way it was channeled, I would say, or presented was in a way blocked. The energy of the
what
Kundalini.
does that mean? The way it was presented
Yes.
was blocked. If it was
Yes.
blocked, how do you know it was presented?
Well, no, it's like there was part of information that were not talked about,
So,
like the sexuality part.
yes, well, but you can investigate and discover that on your own, can't you?
I guess
Oh,
I
you
just
have been, have you?
Oh my God. And I encourage it actually. Because it has
Yes.
so Bashar.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, I do.
what I'm trying to say is that, you know, there is those teachings and we understand them, but we're human. We want to feel, we want to live, you know, we want.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What you are all becoming is fully human. What you think of as being human is not.
Well, okay. Can you explain a little more?
Many of you say, I'm only human, but no, you're not yet. The things, the restrictions, the constrictions that you put on yourselves, the resistances you have to your own true vibration makes you less than fully human, expressionally. So, what you are learning by absorbing all these ideas and allowing yourself to feel the flow of these natural energies through you is your way for now of using that to allow yourself to become more fully human. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Are you willing to continue with exploring the idea of joy and excitement and pleasure in an integral way, in a balanced way that you know will always be expressed in a positive manner to the best of all concerned?
Yes, Bashar.
Then there is absolutely nothing you need to worry about.
Thank you.
Do you think that that is true for you?
Totally.
Do you believe that that is true for you?
I would say, can I add something? Maybe it will help.
By
others
all
too.
means, call upon your imaginational link to your higher mind and embellish what we have given you.
So, okay, being human. So we you know, there is more to that. Wonderful.
Yes.
But I am human now, and
In a variety of ways, yes.
right. And so I have to start from that point.
In a sense, yes, you have chosen to. Yes, and so.
And I believe there's a beauty in being human here on this earth, you know,
All right.
Gaia.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Yes,
And
and,
I'm getting
not
there.
but, and,
And
yes.
how have been a little bit challenged by how one take care of oneself, you know, self-love and
Yes, well,
compassion
congratulations on the challenge.
and nurturing,
Yes.
right?
Remember, the challenges that arise in your lives are the themes you chose to
I
explore.
do, yeah. And it's wonderful.
It
I'm
is.
grateful.
It is. You are full of wonder, full of greatness, grateful.
So no but and how can one not hurt? That's been something that just
Not hurt yourself or not hurt others?
well, I would say others.
Is that the question? When you say, how can one not hurt? Are you speaking about others?
I am. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, are you doing something intentionally to hurt them?
No.
Then how can you hurt them? They can still choose to be hurt, you know. They can choose to hurt themselves relative to what it is you are choosing to do. And it's not like you can't make, in a sense, a mistake. And you can use other people's guidance and advice to say, well, you seem to be acting a little bit out of your integrity here. You might want to take a look at that. But it's up to you to decide whether that's actually true or not. If you're willing to explore the possibility that it might be, then in a sense, you're not out of integrity. And there is no worry about intentionally hurting anyone else. If you, in that sense, unintentionally do something that is out of integrity, you can say, all right, well, that wasn't my intention. I apologize. And now I have learned that by doing what it is I don't prefer to do, I now know more clearly what it is I do prefer to do. So thank you. And thus then, if you're not doing it intentionally, then in that sense, you are not responsible for what another person chooses to feel relative to you being true to yourself. Because you can only be responsible to people. You can't be responsible for other people. You can only be responsible for yourself.
I understand, believe me, but
Oh, believe
and,
you.
and as a human, it is challenging to see
Yes.
others suffer.
But do you not understand that sometimes the idea is that they have chosen this for their own challenge? I'm not justifying that they have to, but many times people will experience what you call suffering because they are resisting their natural selves, and sometimes they actually choose that for a very, very positive reason. It is not up to you to decide necessarily the purpose behind what they have chosen. However, the way to help them best, if they have experienced the suffering out of resistance to the natural self as opposed to a true conscious choice or even an unconscious choice that actually serves a positive purpose, is to simply be the best possible example you can be of choosing a life of joy and excitement, and then you give them at least the opportunity by seeing through you the example of what they could also choose for themselves. But if they choose not to go that way, you must allow them their choice. Because if you don't allow them the freedom to choose, even suffering, why should you be allowed to choose what you prefer?
Yes.
Do you understand how this works?
I do. Well, thank you so much.
Our unconditional love to you.
Hello, Tadeo.
And to you, good day, Nania.
We have a question from our Ustream viewers,
Oh, all right.
and that question is, what happens to the frames in the film strip that are not perceived?
They are perceived by other aspects of consciousness, even if they are not perceived by your perspective. All things exist and they never go away. Thus then, someone, somewhere, is perceiving them. Remember, as we have said, you cannot imagine non-existence. So anything you can imagine is somewhere, in some context, a real reality of some type. Thus, all the frames are being experienced by all that is and all the perspectives of all that is, even though some of the individual perspectives may only experience a few frames. Does that make sense?
Yes, and kind of generates the question of, since we have a wide range of film frames
Yes.
to view,
Yes.
and it's our conscious choice that determines,
Or your unconscious one.
or your unconscious ones, that determine what you project your consciousness through.
Yes.
What is the sort of the guiding determiner of what frames you decide to perceive?
Your true highest vibration. That's why we say act on your highest excitement, because that is in alignment with your true signature frequency and determines the frames you could be experiencing that are in alignment with that. If, however, you're experiencing frames that are out of alignment with that, then obviously what is determining that are belief systems that are out of alignment with your true frequency.
And sometimes it's probably just an exploration to determine whether or not the frames that you're projecting your consciousness through are truly aligned.
Yes.
Or not.
Yes.
And so
in
you
that
always-
sense, you could say the paradox is that sometimes frames that seem out of alignment are actually in alignment if they are in alignment with the thing and the theme that you chose to explore about being out of alignment.
So it's almost like it's a lucid dream.
It is a lucid dream. Well, more lucid for some than others. Does that help?
Yes, that's really interesting, actually.
Was there another question that you had?
There is. There's a question from Michael and Amira, the
Yes.
individuals that have been gracious enough to bring Angel Valley to us and bring Bashar here.
Yes.
And they had a very unusual thing happen where...
An exciting thing.
And yes, very exciting.
Gone with the wind.
I don't know if they mentioned it to the group before we got here, but we were originally going to have this gathering in the big tent that they
Yes.
had below.
Yes.
And then on Monday, a huge windstorm came through and just seemed to target the tent and
Yes.
found a weak spot on it, knocked it down, and now we're here.
Yes.
So they were questioning, or
Any weak spots will destroy the entire structure. See the analogies?
All too clear.
So, integrity on all levels, impeccability on all levels is necessary to move forward. But I will also share with you perhaps a little bit more humorous, but no less educational reason. Things were getting just a little too intense. Thank you.
What?